wrestlers, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Throwdown Presents Tough Broads, Episode 2, Pride Celebration. This is the second in the new list of Tough Broads segments where Sweet Tea is going to reach into her bag of tricks and pull out different things from women's wrestling, as well as Special K here, or the professional. I'm going to call you the professional.
I wish you would.
I'm just going to call you K. You good with that?
Okay.
Okay.
As long as it's not Special K, I really don't care.
Why? That's a really good cereal.
The ultimate K.
It's a good cereal. Bad nickname.
The ultimate
Sorry.
K. Does that work?
There we go. I'm cool with that.
K possible?
Well,
K
I
possible?
mean that does stick close to home, so I'm cool with that.
All right. So, Special K. I'm kidding. All right. So anyway, Sweet Tea. What are we wanting to cover today? With this Pride episode.
Gay wrestlers, duh. What did you think it was going to be about?
Well, actually, I thought that we might be talking about changing the perceptions in professional wrestling, or increasing visibility of LGBTQ plus pioneers, allies like Finn Balor showing their support of the community. Or promoting, inclusivity. The fact that a lot more different people of that certain community,
Right.
being able to be more free with what they're doing nowadays.
Like, one of the biggest companies that is most inclusive is AEW.
Yes.
It's
100%.
unfortunate, but it is the number 2 out there.
It's
WWE
the number 2
also,
show, but it is number 1 in inclusivity.
Yeah.
and we're going to explain a little bit about that to you throughout this episode as well, with certain wrestlers, referees, people of power in professional wrestling. So, without further ado, let's hit us with our first wrestler of topic here, which would be
Susan Tex Green. She's considered the first openly gay wrestler. That nobody knew that she was gay at the time that she wrestled, because she was underneath Lillian Ellison's ruling, aka Moolah.
Moolah. Okay, Lillian Ellison. I thought that was Moolah.
During that time, wasn't it even not really acceptable for people to be out and living out?
Actually, back then they didn't really care.
Okay.
It wasn't really until the AIDS epidemic that people cared.
Okay.
One of the rumors is that Mae Young was a lesbian. Rumors alleged that she was, because of her tomboyishness. She smoked cigars. She wanted to be one of the guys.
She was more of one of the guys than most of the boys,
Yeah.
Yes.
to be honest.
So if you look back on her past, you could see that she could have been. But there's people like Judy Grable that I read online that has even said that Mae Young had told her that she is a lesbian and that she was open about it. But there's nothing online substantial that we can really say.
Well, a lot of the time they kept a lot of that stuff private back then, because it was really no one's business.
But also, people kept their wrestling and their personal lives completely separated.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, hit us with our next picture here, John. Now, who are these two?
Okay, about Susan Green. She is the one on the right.
Yes.
Obviously, she's the white woman.
Yes.
Next to her is Miss Sandy Parker.
Now, why is the name Sandy Parker ring a bell?
Sandy Parker was the one in the last WWE Hall of Fame Legacy induction. She wasn't supposed to be in it, but her video footage was shown, and it was shown for the wrong woman. That's why a lot of people know that name.
Oh, okay.
But these two were tag team partners for over 2 years.
Okay.
And
So, they were tag team partners, and obviously if they're on this segment, that means they have either been lesbians or bisexual.
yes.
So, were they open with each other about their sexuality, or Did they confront each other about it, or did it...
That wasn't until after 2 years of being together when they were on tour in Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
They actually happened to stumble upon each other in a gay bar.
Oh.
So wait a minute. Hold on
They
a second.
just happened to out themselves
So
to
they
each
were
other.
together on the road
Yeah.
for two plus years,
They were.
give or take a day
Yeah.
or so,
Yeah.
and they didn't know that they were closeted from each other.
Yes.
Wow.
That's insane.
And
But I guess then back then that was kind of the way things were done.
But now Susan Green's very open about her sexuality. She's in a documentary called Out in the Ring
Okay.
that talks about how she wishes that she had what people have now,
Right.
so that she could have been her authentic self.
Right.
and
Well, I
she
mean,
didn't have to hide
without
herself.
them though, there wouldn't have been. They inspire future generations
Yeah.
from the struggles that they had to go through.
It really goes to show you just how far wrestling has come, because, like, in the day and age that we're in now, is the wrestling community, in a lot of senses, we're family. We know just about everything about each other.
Yes.
Yes.
For
So
the most
compared
part.
to these two who spent 2.5 years together, and then just having to be like, oh, hey.
And the one most
Yeah,
important
because-
thing that you think you would know.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, back then
Things
they
were
kept,
just so
they
different.
kept wrestling and personal life
Mhm.
so separated.
Well,
Yeah.
Now,
that was the illusion of women's wrestling
Yeah.
being attracted towards men.
yes.
Yeah.
If they thought that they were gay, then the men wouldn't pay the
well,
money
yes,
to come
Yes.
see them.
because
Yes.
Even Moolah would ask the women before they came in to train or whatnot if they were lesbians, and if they openly said yes, she refused them.
Which is
Oh.
odd, considering.
Yeah.
Considering the alleged rumors that she partaked in lesbian acts as well. But that was her
with
personal life.
allegedly someone we're going to talk about here
Next,
in a few.
Okay.
If
Go
you
ahead and hit
wanna-
us with the next one, John.
which would have been Miss Mae Young, which
The
I
fabulous Mae Young.
who I've already spoken about, that the alleged rumors that she was a lesbian.
Now, see, I didn't know this.
And they
you dropped this knowledge on me the other day that
And-
she was out.
Yes, and her and Moolah lived together
She's a gorgeous woman.
Mhm.
for several years,
Mm.
and they had a very strong bond.
Well, you would always
Cool.
see Mae Young smoking the big cigars.
Yeah.
And being put through tables at what, 70?
Yeah.
70 something,
But
being
I
power
think-
bombed
I
off
think-
20-foot stage.
Honestly, I think maybe even Moolah was a closeted lesbian or
For the long part.
bisexual, because I think for out in the business world, she wanted to be seen as this strong
Mm-hmm.
woman with a man beside
Yes.
her.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But
Well, that's
privately-
definitely Moolah's influence.
But, these are all allegedly rumors that we all hear. We weren't there. We don't know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you look at it, May didn't really start getting her due until the unfortunate news of Moolah surfacing. There was supposed to be a fabulous Moolah Battle Royal in her name that was canceled like at the last possible moment and called the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal or some shit.
Mhm.
But the whole point, what I was trying to get at there is, she did her. I can't say that it's proven. There's people out there with their opinions and what they know,
Right.
allegedly, of what was Fabulous Moolah rather's behind the scenes antics with these people. While we know their fact, I can't say.
Which you can watch on
With 100
Vice's
yeah.
Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, there's a
And
lot of references that I'm going to
really-
go through here. But
Yeah.
To be honest, the only way they could say without a shadow of a doubt that Moolah was telling the truth is if they had her sit down and take a lie detector test.
Yeah, well, and here's the deal.
You know what I mean?
Mae Young, when should have been as celebrated
Yes.
as the fabulous Moolah, wasn't until Moolah and all this stuff come to light that people really started giving Mae Young her flowers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like Attitude Era,
but-
when she would show up, everybody loved her in the Mark Henry skits until they did the hand birth.
But she had
Everybody thought it was funny.
She had such a huge impact on women's wrestling
Period.
history because she
Yeah.
was one of the first women to go on tour with Mildred Burke to Japan.
Which was
Without
unheard of.
Without her, there wouldn't be so much wrestling nowadays. There wouldn't be
as much respect for the women's locker room.
Yeah.
She is the one that made people have respect. She
is the
she
original
was a
tough
backbone.
broad.
Yes, she is.
Mae Young is the original
she
tough
is.
broad. Also, PWI
with-
inductee into our Hall of Fame was Mae Young, one of the first, as a matter of fact, her and Betty White.
Yeah.
All right, hit us with this next one. Mae Young inspired generations of talent, which come to a forefront in the WWE when the Mae Young Classic was announced.
Yes.
In the same year that they took the Moolah Battle Royal away, 2 months later, Snickers actually caused them to change the Moolah Battle Royal because of all the stuff that come to light. So they were like, well, Mae Young didn't deserve all that to have her name in with Moolah for even in the afterlife. Let's be honest here. She's going to be paired up in history with Moolah no matter how you look at it. Let's do something nice for the next generation, and the Mae Young Classic was invented.
That was so good.
It went through 2 years, back to back, of some of the hottest free agent professional wrestlers in the world.
That are still currently
We have a
names.
couple. Hit us with the next one, Johnny. We'll start with the first one. Piper Niven.
Or Dewdrop.
Or Dewdrop, or Viper, as
Yes.
she was known overseas. She was in one of the Mae Young Classics. Hit us with the next one.
She's actually married to a man. She came out as bisexual.
Yes. Another bisexual pioneer in women's professional wrestling today is this woman right here, the AEW Women's Champion, Timeless Toni Storm. I mean, she's the best gimmick they have going right now in AEW.
Without a doubt.
Like she's got that classic beauty. She's super talented. And she actually won the second year of the Mae Young Classic. And then of course she left WWE betting on herself that she was better than what the WWE made her out to be.
And she was.
And here she is, number 1 woman of the year in the PWI Female Superstars of the Year. She was number 1. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Hit us with the next one. There's another one here. Allie Katch, which was inspired by Mae Young. She actually did some of the training and the putting together of the Mae Young Classic.
Okay.
Was referenced several times during the first one because I believe she had gotten injured. She was supposed to be in the Classic. It didn't happen for her.
Yeah.
Also inspired...
She, Allie Katch also does a lot of matches with Effie.
Yes, Effie, of course, the openly gay professional wrestler out of GCW. Effie holds his own annual brunch called Effie's Big Gay Brunch, where only community wrestlers are allowed to take place in this, from referees, announcers, timekeepers, all of that. Everyone is a member of the LGBTQ plus community, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And they sell tickets and they sell out every year. He donates the money. I mean, it's pretty super cool if you think about it. Also, we have our next one, Abaddon. The undead Abaddon.
She's currently in AEW.
Yes, she is non-binary,
Yes.
from what I understand. I say she respectfully. I do not know her pronouns.
Also, Allie Katch considers herself pansexual.
Okay.
Okay. Hit us with the next picture here, John. We have Kayla Braxton.
Which
Kayla
this
Braxton.
was new to me.
Yes.
I also did not know this.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. I give her a lot of guff on the podcast. Of course, the podcast is a satire. It's real news and me hamming it up for the camera most of the time.
Having fun.
Kayla Braxton's one of the most amazing announcers that WWE has ever had backstage.
Very talented.
Bar none. If not the best, one of the best.
Yeah.
And I hope
And
she does great on
as in
her
female,
new
she's up
endeavors.
there with Renee Pierce.
Oh yeah.
And oh my gosh, so many of the just big popular.
Yeah.
She's so good. I hope that she actually just finished up her SmackDown WWE career at Madison Square Garden last Friday night. Caleb Braxton, an amazing talent. Hit us with our next slide here, John.
Now, wasn't this lady also in the May Classic?
This lady was also in the May Classic.
This is Miss Mercedes Martinez.
I love Mercedes Martinez.
Oh, she is gorgeous.
Now, she looks like an athlete.
So
she looks like a badass. I think I'd be scared if I met her. Like,
yeah.
look at that picture, her stance.
She actually helped train Shayna Baszler.
Yes.
I was about to say, she kind of reminds me of Shayna Baszler or Zoe Stark.
Yes. She's, she originally did not start out in wrestling. Originally, she was in basketball.
Okay.
She ended up sustaining an injury to where she could no longer play, and then ended up transitioning into wrestling. She's worked with NXT. She's worked with ROH. She's currently working at AEW.
She's been on almost all major independent promotions.
She's a huge talent. She's done a lot of, if I remember right, I think she's done a lot of like indie work, to where you can go on YouTube, stuff like that.
Well,
try
she
to
was
look
just
her up.
challenging Tony Storm on AEW for the belt not too long ago too.
Amazing talent.
She does a lot of work with the all women promotions, or did.
Yes. So from what I've seen here, she's been a strong advocate inclusively in wrestling, stating
Inclusivity.
Sorry, I'm
You're
really
good.
bad.
You're good. I have a hard time pronouncing that word too.
Stating that every company should look at making female wrestlers inclusive and making them the forefront.
Agreed.
It's she's been doing a lot of work to try to make sure that
It's not just women or just.
but no matter
LGBTQ.
where you stand, no matter your political beliefs, your religious, whatever, you're a person, you should be here, you should be allowed to do your thing. Let's go make it happen.
Yeah, also, I mean, here's the deal. Inclusivity, even as a female in professional wrestling, is hard enough. I mean, let's be real here. We're just pushing for fair contracts.
Yep.
For fair money, for fair TV time, for fair storyline time. You know, we increase the storylines to push the talent to get more exposure.
Yes.
It's almost
WWE
just
has
like
been
women
doing
fighting
that
for voting
really
rights.
well as well with some of the inclusivity of the
We
women's
might eventually
division
get that word right.
in WWE. There is a lot. I mean,
Yes.
Finn Balor
Yes.
is a big ally.
Yes.
Yes, he's worn Pride gear.
Yes.
And he's also said that the Balor Club, like we say, PWT, is for everyone. He
Yes.
wore tights with rainbow on them. Here's the deal, y'all.
I believe he's been to Pride events as well.
He has. And that should be more of the forefront. I
Yes.
agree with her. Professional wrestling, women should be in the forefront.
Yes.
Support
They
your
should be
fellow
treated the
wrestlers.
exact same way, whether or not they're gay, straight, non-binary,
Man or
transgender.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Wrestling should be for everybody. We
woman.
should
It should all
have
be equal.
representation of everyone.
And that's why the women's segment is about
Yes.
showing the women's history and their struggles.
Yeah.
And
And one way that Mercedes is trying to help in doing that is she's been helping to build some of the most celebrated all-women independent promotions, including Shimmer, Shine, and Rise. And that's just
Shine
in
was so
this
cool.
country.
which
Yeah.
Shine is now defunct.
Yes.
But still,
well, it was
they made it go
accumulated
at
by
it.
Shimmer,
They had-
yes,
wasn't
you
it?
know,
I believe they all went together.
Yeah. Which also is an offshoot of Stardom, which is also
Yes.
an offshoot of NJPW, AJPW. I mean, women's professional wrestling is everywhere,
yes,
and that's great because then you do get to see
yes,
the difference in people. You do get to see the difference in their color.
Yep.
The difference in their makeup as a human being. You get to see different aspects from everyone.
Yeah.
Not just at the forefront
Yes.
of push all talent, regardless of everything. Basically.
Yeah.
Anything else about Mercedes Martinez?
She's an openly out lesbian, proud.
Well, here's the deal. Who's going to tell her she can't be?
Exactly. I'm telling you, if you do,
kick their ass.
if
Yeah, she
you
would.
don't know her, if you don't know her work, I strongly suggest you go and look it up. Like, she's very,
Yeah,
very
I'm not
talented.
very familiar with her.
Yes, you
The
need
Shine.
to check her out.
The Shimmer, and some of the stuff she's doing now, and the Mae Young Classic. Not to jump
Yes.
backwards, but
Yeah.
the Mae Young Classic is available to be watched on the Peacock.
Well, you know what? We might have to do a
review show.
Yep.
because
I'm in.
I've not seen it.
We
Yep.
could all three do that now. Well, of course, Big Bad John being
Well-
4, because I mean he's behind the ones and twos.
He's the backbone of right now.
That's right.
We just sit here and look pretty.
All right, hit us with our next
I don't know
slide.
about that.
Speaking of,
Hey, Miss
Shayna Baszler
Shayna
actually was the runner-up in the first Mae Young Classic, losing to Kiri Sane. But here's the deal: she made an impression.
Yes.
She not only is on television right now, but she is a major star being put on both shows.
Yes.
She's showing up everywhere.
She's fantastic.
She has really, really put the work in.
What do we know about Shayna Baszler?
So originally she, of course, again, not originally a wrestler. She started out, obviously, MMA. And boy, did she have a career there.
Now, Sweet Tea, if I am not mistaken, she's the first MMA transition, correct?
First, yes, and successful.
And
Yes.
successful in the WWE. Wow, that's
Yes.
insane. I mean, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Female.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
MMA
well, yes,
star.
yes.
Yes. Because, obviously Ken
empowerment.
Shamrock and all
Yes.
that. But here's the deal. Shayna Baszler, she had an outstanding run as NXT champion. She not only was NXT champion, she's had a fantastic run as multiple-time tag team champion.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of the most legitimately feared
Yeah.
women in professional wrestling. She's a gamer. She's open to talking to fans.
Yeah.
She is everything that you want in someone to look up
Yes.
to. In my opinion, Shayna
Yes.
Baszler's at the tippy top.
Yes.
Yes, her business and her career, she's very open about, but she's kind of private about
Yes.
her personal life.
It seems like there's not a whole lot to see about her right here. It says that she's a direct impact with the LGBTQ wrestling community. They're not widely documented, but her presence is a
She goes to the Pride things
Yes.
and
It was
stuff.
allegedly rumored to have been what's the word I'm looking for? Legitimized that she's dating Dakota Kai right
Yes.
now. That's
Okay.
the rumor.
Okay.
Well, they are best friends and they live together. So
Well, yeah, them two with Maya Yim and Jessamine St. Duke were the best roommates ever. The girls' equivalent on Up, Up, Down, Down to the Party of Xavier Woods, Claudio, and all those boys. Tyler Breeze, when they played
Now-
their games, they were called the best roommates ever and tried to take over.
It was great.
And they fought each other through video games to try to be dominant. Shayna Baszler has been the Up, Up, Down, Down champion numerous times
yeah.
for video games.
And like when she's
Maya
on there,
Yim.
you can just
Oh,
see
yeah.
her having
She's-
so much fun.
she has a great personality when you see her being herself.
She's easy on the
Now,
ears,
I
too.
know you
So-
don't really do TikTok, but for the people out here that do TikTok, you need to look up Shayna Baszler on there because, for one, you get to see her doing her meals every Monday. She comes up with the most.
Cheat meals.
No, every Monday before Raw,
Uh-huh.
she goes on TikTok and she shows you her meal before Raw, and it's
Oh,
always
from catering. Okay.
always some kind of really weird looking stew that she comes up with, and then you see her like being all serious
So
as
she's a country girl.
everybody's joking around and playing, and she's like, it's just great.
I love it.
It's great.
I have always been a huge
Every
fan of
once in a
Shayna
while
Baszler.
you see her break character and have fun with them on it, and then she goes
Her
back
and
to being
Baron
serious. Oh,
Her
it's
and
great.
Baron Corbin together
Yes.
on the TikTok and shit. Baron Corbin has a TikTok to where he does food. It doesn't even have anything to do with wrestling, and they're just on there sharing their love of making food and stuff.
That's great.
Super cool. Shayna Baszler is everywhere. She should. If you ask
Yes.
me, they should have strapped the belt to her a long time
Yes,
ago
yes,
and
yes.
made her the focus.
You know, another really cool thing about Shayna is one of the things that I appreciate the most about her is she is really open towards intergender wrestling,
Yes.
which is something
She wants to get
that,
in there and mix it up with the guys.
Yes, I love that.
And I like the underground match with Lola
Yes.
Vice she had.
Give me more. Do it.
Also, I mean, her matches are legendary with
Yes.
people like Asuka. I'd like to see her go to Japan and wrestle somebody like Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes!
She almost
or something
reminds
like
me
that.
of. I almost wish she was around with China.
Yes.
They would have had
For
some
the
killer.
intergender.
Yes.
Or even Jazz was the athletic, or Jacqueline, Miss Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Yep.
She would have been a hell of a match together. It would have been great.
Oh yeah.
Well, all right. Well, hit it. Well, speaking of communities, you said she's big into the communities.
Yes.
Let's hit us with our next, which is Aubrey Edwards. Aubrey
Yes.
Edwards is official for AEW Wrestling. She also refereed the Mae Young Classic.
Yes.
And the women's Evolution or Revolution pay-per-view?
Evolution.
Evolution.
Women's Evolution, WWE Evolution pay-per-view. Yes, she was the referee of the main event, if I'm not mistaken. Here's the deal.
First openly bisexual referee.
Awesome.
In professional wrestling,
and she is a fantastic ref. She's
I
very
think
talented.
that she's super talented. I've always been somebody who's always been against giving the referee a lot of camera time or gimmicks. I'm more of a traditionalist.
But
However, her contribution to matches sometimes gets over the talent.
Yeah.
That can't do it themselves. She is she is a figure of authority where referees. There's always that stigmatism that goes through with the. Well, why do those men not just beat her up and overpower her because she's a woman? Aubrey doesn't allow that shit to take place.
Yes.
Aubrey is, I'm the official and you'll do it my way or you're out of here.
Yes.
That's what Aubrey Edwards has really put into referees. She takes bumps from men.
Yes.
Like, she takes serious bumps.
She wants to be a part of the action
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
But she also does so much more for AEW.
Yeah, didn't she have to do something with a community of sorts through AEW? The heels promotion?
Yes, she's a driving force behind the AEW heels.
Also, video games of some sort? Like, she has something to do with their video games?
Yeah, before she got into this, she was a video game developer, and now she develops their video games, and she co-hosts the AEW Unrestricted podcast.
No.
With
Tony Schiavone. Yeah.
I don't
who
know.
was
I
the
know
voice,
nothing about AEW. I don't
who
know.
was the voice of WCW. Tony Schiavone was the voice of WCW. He was the Michael Cole of WCW.
Okay.
But she does so much more for the heels community. Was originally something that had to do with just a safe space for women wrestling fans.
It's, women's wrestling fans who just wanted to empower other female wrestlers. But now it's become, it's a quote I'm going to read.
Okay.
We also had started kind of offering more content that is outside of focusing on just AEW talent. We talk about mental health. We'll talk about LGBTQ issues, because not only are we wrestling fans, that sort of thing that brings different backgrounds and different successes, different failures, different things going on in our lives. So we're sort of had to adjust the community to grow, and it's a beautiful thing. And she's right. It's having it grow like that is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So something that was just for women who were wrestling fans, it's become a whole community about
a safe place for all aspects of fans of professional
and
wrestling.
She's one of the leading forces of that.
Awesome.
And I believe who started that? Do you remember who started
yes, Cody Rhodes' wife, Brandy Rhodes, was the person who
right.
started heels after Cody Rhodes cured racism. Cody. But no, Brandy Rhodes actually started heels. I'm pretty sure she still might have something to do with it.
I'm sure, probably
in some aspect, I'm sure her name is on something.
That or she,
which
still
is probably
stays in contact or,
something at least in the community itself. I know that the women wrestlers were big driving forces in the chats of those communities too, where they would get on and actually be able to connect personally.
Yes, that's what it's all about, is the women's wrestlers of them all coming together.
There you go.
All,
Just share
it's
their
all
love
women.
of a sport that, for lack of a better term, here until the last 20 years, really was looked at as being lesser.
Yes.
Which never really made sense to me because here's the deal: whether you're straight, gay,
Man,
bi,
woman.
man, woman, child, dog, cat, whatever whatever you.
Hey. My cats can wrestle better than half of these indie guys.
Hey,
Well,
I got kitty ears on.
I'm just saying.
I got kitty ears on.
Whatever it is, it's inclusivity for professional wrestling is getting to where it's breaking barriers every day. We're getting more accepting. Attitudes have been changed in the locker room, and
Yes.
Being someone who was in a locker room during the aspect of the Attitude Era, where there was a lot of racial tensions and stuff going on, let me tell you right now, it's nice to see that we're finally the older generation that's just getting ready to leave professional wrestling and the ones coming in, that they're learning from the guys coming in and not being stuck in their ways. But this was a real fun topic to cover.
Yes.
I think it was a really good idea for your second production of Tough Broads.
A little late.
It's a little late, but here's the deal. It is dropping at the end of Pride Month, which is, we covered quite a few things throughout Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the month. We will be covering something else here soon for whatever Heritage Month is next or holiday is next.
I'll figure something
We'll
out.
do something, but Tough Broads, be sure to go back. If you like this, hit a like.
Yep.
Leave a comment. Subscribe. Still the Drive for 5.
Give
This
us
is still the Pro
ideas
Wrestling
for
Throwdown
other
channel.
segments.
Give us ideas where you can send Sweet Tea something through Sweet Tea on Facebook, correct?
Yes.
You can hit us on Facebook at Pro Wrestling Throwdown. You send us an email, Pro Wrestling Throwdown, Gmail. There's plenty of ways to get a hold of us. Leave us a comment. We will get back to you. Send us an email. We'll get back to you. Be sure to check out Pro Wrestling Throwdown on all social medias. You can find us everywhere. This is the beginning of what I think is really going to be a revolutionary segment on
So,
Pro Wrestling Throwdown.
if there's any female wrestlers that you guys know, or even indie female wrestlers, any of them, women, send them our way.
Yeah, for sure.
Let them know.
If there's something you want to know, something you have an idea for a show, we'll shout out your credit for you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We make sure the credit goes to places that it's supposed to go here at Pro Wrestling Throwdown. So
Every time.
Every single time. So with that said, go back, watch episode 1. Bull Nakano, really good video. It's got some fun gifts in there, some fun changes and cuts.
Don't drink, don't smoke.
Don't drink, don't smoke. Every time, it goes where it needs to go every time. Don't ever forget that. Sweet Tea, fantastic presentation, as always. Big Bad John, fantastic behind the ones and twos, making the things happen. Thank you for joining us not only here on Tough Broads, but joining us on the podcast as well.
Thank
you to Fightful for the Pride pictures that I found.
100%. Sean Ross Sapp is a gentleman when it comes to that stuff. They really put together good shows.
Yes.
Follow.
In the work.
If anything you get from this, follow. Wrestling, support. Local wrestling, support. Indie
Watch
wrestling.
it. Learn from it. Have fun.
Most importantly, have fun, because here's the deal. At the end of the day, wrestling's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable.
Enjoy it.
It's supposed to be enjoyed by everybody.
You guys, I think we're rambling.
No, we're not rambling. No. Did you know that CBD is just diet weed? I didn't know if you knew that.
Anyway, ripped off.
From the big dog, Sweet Tea,
professional,
K, Kizzle and the Shizzle, and Big Bad John. This is Pro Wrestling Throwdown Stuff Broad episode 2. That's a Rye. He wanted to make sure that he got in on this. As always,
Throwdown dog.
Pat McAfee.
Or Caleb. Bat! Ah! All right. Anyway, y'all have a good night. This has been Tough Broads. Like we said, be on the lookout for more Pro Wrestling Throwdown Tough Broads content. More content, period. Send us ideas. And as always, from us to you, back to you.
Keep it in the ring.